Hello, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up video to something that I talked about yesterday in my previous front porch post. In that video, I discussed the decision that Anheuser-Busch made, particularly its Bud Light division, to enter into a marketing agreement with TikTok trans activist Dylan Mulvaney. There were a lot of things that were discussed, a lot of evidence brought forward, videos, charts, etc. But there's two questions that I addressed specifically, and one of them was what I thought was going to happen to Anheuser-Busch's bottom line and how long it might take before we start seeing what the reaction would be. Well, I don't think we're going to have to wait very long because the evidence is starting to come in. The other thing that I talked about and I could not figure out is why is it that Anheuser-Busch, which has had an established product in Bud Light, which has been around for decades, why is it that Anheuser-Busch seems to be going so far out of its way to ignore the demographic that it's trying to get to purchase its product? And not only ignore them, but it seems like they're going out of their way to try and offend them. Well, the answer may have come in. There's a video that's been circulating around social media now all day long. We're going to take a look at it, and I think once you see it, you're going to begin to understand why it is Anheuser-Busch has joined so many other corporations in getting woke and going broke. Hang on, we're going to look at all that here in just a second. My name is Brian Trippett. I am your front porch conservative. Step on up to my electronic front porch and let's talk. So just how badly is Anheuser-Busch taking it on the chin from Bud Light's decision to enter into this marketing agreement with Dylan Mulvaney? I had said in my previous front porch post that it might be weeks or months before we start seeing the fallout. I was absolutely wrong. We're already starting to see it, and it's not good for the king of beers. Take a look at this. This is from Yahoo's finance page, and I usually use this to look up any different prices on a stock that I might be interested in. I was taking a look at the end of the day trading, and this is absolutely fascinating. Take a look at this. Anheuser-Busch's stock ended trading today at $64.96 a share, down $1.38. Now, you may look at that and say to yourself, well, okay, it's $1.38. That's bad, but, what's the big deal? Let me show you something. This is the 5-day trading range. Now, I want you to notice something. This is where I've got the cursor right now is end of day trading Thursday, April the 6th at about 4 o'clock, normally when it closes. Stock price at that point was running about 66.33. Ladies and gentlemen, from last Thursday when this controversy broke till now, Anheuser-Busch's stock price has dropped about $1.36 a share, and it hasn't recovered. It hit a bottom of where it is right now, and it's not coming off that bottom. Now, again, you may say, okay, so they've dropped about $1.36 or $1.38 in share price value. What does that mean for the company? Let me show you what that bottom line may be referring to. Take a look at this. This is a tweet that I found today from DC Drano, and he posted this at around, call it 1 o'clock in the afternoon. On March 31st, Anheuser-Busch had a $132.38 billion market cap. Now, if you're wondering what market cap is, market capitalization or market cap is one measurement of a company's size. It's the total value of a company's outstanding shares of stock which include publicly traded shares plus restricted shares held by the company. In other words, how healthy is this company? Or how big is it? Well, they started on March 31st at $132 billion in market capitalization. That's how big Anheuser-Busch was. As of today, end of trading, their market capitalization is $129.56 billion. That's a difference of almost $3 billion, ladies and gentlemen. Anheuser-Busch has absolutely taken a big financial hit because of this. Now, there's probably a lot of factors that are involved in the drop in the stock price, but you cannot tell me that what's going on right now does not have something to do with the public's reaction to Bud Light entering into this marketing agreement with trans activist Dylan Mulvaney. Now, as I said in the video, I'm not necessarily faulting Mulvaney. If Anheuser-Busch is going to offer the money, take it. It's a free country, so far. But Anheuser-Busch has made the decision, and now they're having to live with the consequences. But that still doesn't answer something. How in the world did a company as old as Anheuser-Busch, that's had a product around that's as long as they've had Bud Light, how in the world did they come to the decision that this was a good idea? That somehow either ignoring their current customer base or going out of their way to offend their customer base was such a really good idea? Hang on. We think we found the answer. We're going to take a look at it here in just a second. Now, I had mentioned earlier that there was a video circulating around social media today that may offer an answer as to why it is that Anheuser-Busch's Bud Light division is engaging in what seems like market insanity. I have seen all kinds of explanations for why people do things, but this little 1-minute clip is absolutely amazing for everything it says about why it is Bud Light seems to be going out of its way to ignore the demographic base that is trying to get to buy its product, or worse yet, trying to insult them. Now, let me set this up. This is an interview given by a young lady named Alyssa Heinerschneid. She's Bud Light's vice president for marketing. Now, I'm going to stop this at various points along the way, and I'll do my best to limit that. But she's going to make some comments that absolutely are worthy of commentary. So, that said, we've set it up. I'm going to play this. It runs about 1 minute, so hang on. Here we go.
I'm a businesswoman. I had a really clear job to do when I took over Bud Light. And it was, this brand is in decline. It's been in decline for a really long time.
Now, let me stop for 1 second. To be fair to her, I don't disagree with what she just said. It has been in decline. As I mentioned in my previous video, about 7 years ago, Anheuser-Busch's Bud Light division hired Seth Rogen and Amy Schumer to kind of punch things up a little bit. They hired them just before Super Bowl 50 for an ad campaign that ran through the fall, which the ad campaign kind of coincided with the presidential election. So there is a decline in Bud Light sales. However, I'm not so sure that's because of bad marketing as much as it is other market factors like different competitors that are eating into Bud Light's market share. Now, but she's right. It has been in decline. So let's continue with the video.
And if we do not attract young drinkers to come and drink this brand, there will be no future for Bud Light. So I had this super...
Okay, that seems like she's got a little bit of Messiah complex. If we don't attract young people to drink this, there's no future. Well, there's a future. It just may not involve you, but I digress. We'll continue.
For clear mandate. It's like we need to evolve and elevate this incredibly iconic brand. And what I brought to that was a belief in, okay, what does evolve and elevate mean? It means inclusivity. It means...
Whoa. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. It's a buzzword, but it's not an unimportant buzzword because it's going to lead to something. It's got to be inclusive. We'll continue.
Shifting the tone. It means having a campaign that's truly inclusive and feels lighter and brighter and different and appeals to women and to men.
Okay, I have a question. Miss Heinerscheid, with all due respect, do you really think that hiring Dylan Mulvaney, a man, to dress up like a woman, prance around in a very irritating manner, in a manner that a lot of people find irritating, particularly women who feel like they're being insulted because Dylan Mulvaney is absolutely not representing what the female sex is all about? Do you really think that that is going to make women want to buy your product even more? With all due respect, are you out of your mind? If anything, you're having the opposite effect right now. But we'll continue.
And representation is at sort of the heart of evolution. You've got to see people who reflect you in the work, and we have.
No, you have to create a commercial, a marketing campaign that makes people want to buy your product. That's all you got to do. It's that simple. What is it with this inclusive, representation? We've got to get people to see, yourself in the work. No, you don't. This sounds like discussions about comic books and movies these days. It's more woke SJW nonsense. And now it's infecting corporate America. Well, it has been for a while, but this is a blatant example of it. We continue.
This hangover. I mean, Bud Light had been kind of a brand of bratty, kind of out of touch humor.
Fratty? Out of touch humor? Out of touch to who? I don't know about anybody else, but I think Bud Light's done fairly well over the years, in spite or despite of a market decline. It's one of the most popular beers in America. We showed a chart yesterday where Anheuser Busch had like $7.1 billion in sales in the United States alone. Out of touch and fratty? I don't think so, but we'll continue.
And it was really important that we had another approach. So I'm a businesswoman.
Folks, lest you think that this woman is a one-off example of woke SJWism in corporate America, I beg to differ. Unfortunately, this is what is coming out of our business schools. This is what is coming out of our marketing schools. And corporations like Anheuser-Busch are hiring people like her. I'm sorry. People have made the point today, and I can't disagree with them. I doubt very seriously this woman's ever had a can of Bud Light in her life. She has no idea who she's trying to market this product to. And the proof of that is this campaign. This campaign is doing nothing more than absolutely kicking in the rear end the customer base that Anheuser-Busch wants to get to buy its product. I was watching another show today. It was the Anthony Cumia show on Compound Media. And they were having a discussion about this. And Cumia brought up a really good point. As a matter of fact, he had the boys in the booth pull up the old Spuds MacKenzie marketing campaign that Bud Light used back in the 80s. Now, if you're old enough to remember that, those commercials were fun. And it got me thinking about other marketing campaigns that Bud Light has done. The Real Men of Genius, or the What's Up campaign, or the I Love You Man, or Dilly Dilly. These campaigns were fun. These campaigns made you laugh. And not only did you laugh, you automatically associated them with Bud Light. How many Super Bowl commercials have we seen over the years where Bud Light ran something special just for that occasion, and you came away the next day at the water cooler and you're like, oh man, did you see that What's Up campaign ad for Bud Light in the Super Bowl? Everybody was talking about it. People didn't feel like they were being preached to. People didn't feel like they were having a message jammed down their throat. People didn't feel like they were having their values offended. No, they found something funny and they associated it with a product. Ms. Heinerscheid, it's not that hard to figure out. Get your customers to want to buy your product. And I don't think insulting their values is the best way to go about doing that. But what do I know? I'm just a simple guy sitting on my front porch. As we start to wrap this up, as always, please do me some favors. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, give me a thumbs up, share the video around. And by the way, if you have Twitter, I am out on Twitter, so please give me a follow out there. I'll do my best to post information and comments and let you know about videos that are coming out when they're out. I'm your Front Porch Conservative, and I'll see you next time.